When a young girl surprised a single dad for leftovers, an incredible transformation was exposed. Emily stood at the crosswalk, feeling the early afternoon sun dip behind the school, casting long shadows. Her heart raced, not from the fading warmth, but from anxiety. With every passing moment, she could feel her mother's absence like a bruise that hadn't fully healed. As she walked home, the aromas of the neighborhood wafted in the crisp air, the scent of garlic and tomatoes tugging irresistibly at her memories. The taste of her mom's lasagna haunted her, the smile, the laughter, the way they ate together as a family. Now, those evening meals felt like fading photographs, treasured but lost. She paused, considering the half-empty shopping list crumpled in her pocket. Would it be foolish to attempt the recipe? She felt a mix of excitement and dread. What if she failed? What if she couldn't capture any of the warmth her mother used to bring? But as she looked up at the modest home that felt too big and too small at the same time, she knew she had to try. It could bring back a piece of their lost normalcy. Emily took a deep breath and kicked her worry to the side. She was determined. Gathering the ingredients felt like gathering the pieces of her heart. She scavenged the fridge and pantry, her fingers brushing through the remnants of a life she wished they weren't living. The chopping of onions made her eyes sting, not only from the sharp scent, but from the sheer weight of nostalgia. Before we continue, I need to tell you about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, click the bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can leave a like, it really helps with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now, let's continue. As the meal simmered, Emily felt an unusual thrill, her spirits lifting even as she recognized the heavy silence around her. What if this truly brought them back together? As the smell of rich marinara filled the air, she set the table, trying to fill the unforgettable void left by her mother's spirit. When her dad walked through the door, grease on his hands from the garage, he blinked in surprise. Revealing the steaming dish, Emily's heart flipped nervously. What if he didn't care? The first bite she watched him take felt like a launch into unknown territory. He paused, his expression flickering from surprise to nostalgia as memories of laughter seemed to rise in the savory steam. They talked then, words dancing lightly on the simmering current of lasagna. But every moment of connection turned into sharper tension. Emily hesitated to mention her dream of culinary school, afraid to bring disappointment instead of pride. Would he dismiss her? Would she lose this tender moment? Battling her swirling fears of judgment and vulnerability, she pressed on. But as she spoke, she noticed a shadow flicker across Jake's face, flickers of their struggles and his own dreams unfulfilled. She could see the conflict etched in the lines of his brow, and her heart tightened at the realization of his own internal fight. Their connection felt fragile, and just as they leaned into this shared tenderness, the remnants of her classmates' taunts echoed in her mind, reminding her of her family's status and struggles. What if this happiness was only a mirage, a temporary reprieve before reality crashed in again? That weight pressed against her chest, tightening like a vice. Would this meal truly bridge the divide between them, or would it merely highlight how far apart they still stood? The tension between needing to touch that unhealed wound while yearning for closeness was palpable. And as the clanking forks danced nervously against plates, she took a deep breath, knowing the real battle was just beginning, teetering on the edge of a terrifying revelation. The fragility of their moment clawed at her spirit, leaving her wrestling with doubt just as her father did, trapped in shared silence. Emily's heart raced with a pounding urgency as she fumbled with the edge of the tablecloth, its white fabric crumpling in her hands like the emotional weight pressing down on her. The moment felt suspended in time, etched into the air thick with the scent of lasagna and unresolved feelings. She struggled to piece together her next words, afraid they might shatter the thin veneer of connection they had just formed. Dad, she began hesitantly, her voice barely above a whisper. She wished she could summon the confidence to voice her ambitions, unfurl her plans like the culinary blueprint she had envisioned. But standing before him, she felt like a child again, small and uncertain. His brow relaxed slightly, and he looked up, his fork hovering above the plate. "Yes, Em? What is it?" "I've been thinking about culinary school." The admission tumbled out in a rush, followed by a suffocating silence. She felt the heat creeping up her cheeks, a mix of defiance and vulnerability battling for dominance in her chest. Jake's expression shifted, and the warm glow in his eyes dimmed. "Culinary school? Are you sure that's what you want?" His voice carried a weight that Emily felt in her bones. Was it concern? Skepticism? She nodded, her pulse quickening. "I think I could do it. I know it sounds crazy, but cooking, it's like magic to me. When I'm in the kitchen, I feel alive." Caught in the intensity of her revelation, she searched his face for understanding. She needed him to see beyond the plates of food. She needed him to grasp the significance of her dream. But instead, his gaze flickered elsewhere, lingering on a wall adorned with fading photographs of their family, each one a ghost whispering memories of better days. "Emily," he finally said, his words a soft tremor against her hopes. "You know how tough that path can be. It's not secure. And with everything we've been through," he trailed off, guilt evident in the furrow of his brow. "What do you mean?" She felt a surge of anger rising within her, a battle between wanting his approval and the need to defend her aspirations. "What's wrong with wanting something? I want to make something of myself. Isn't that what you always told me?" His eyes softened, and she could see the fatherly pride battling with the worries that had piled high over the years, debts, lost opportunities, and dreams deferred. The tension between them had shifted into a fragile promise. "I just want to protect you. This world is hard, Em. I don't want you to get hurt." His earnest tone washed over her, but the words felt like chains, tethered to his definition of security and stability. Emily clenched her fists, grappling with the wave of frustration that bubbled underneath. Was it wrong to pursue what stirred her heart while he reveled in practicality? Somewhere inside, a part of her longed to shake him, to demand he see the depth of her passion. "I need to take risks," she responded fiercely, a determination igniting within her. "If I never try, how will I ever know what I'm capable of?" Silence descended once more, heavier than before, and she sensed the walls closing in around them, a reminder of the unspoken battles each fought within their separate spheres. As the tension thickened, she suddenly felt the pressure of expectation mounting, not only from her father, but from within herself. The pathway ahead felt muddled, the looming choice of pursuing her culinary dream or conforming to the shadows of doubt had ignited a fire beneath her skin. The moment they had created with dinner began to fracture, and as Emily looked at her father, she realized she was standing at a precipice. What if she chose to leap, even with fear gnawing at the edges of her resolve? Just as their words transformed into an unpalatable stew of emotions, out of the corner of her eye, she noticed the flickering light from her mother's favorite flowered lamp, a small, quiet reminder of hope and love. But would that serve as a beacon guiding her towards her own ambitions, or a reminder of the life she once had? The food, the moment, and the conversation swirled into an argument inside of her, inflected by the urgent desire to bridge the gap between them. Her breath caught as she leaned closer, thoughts racing. She needed to act now, needed to unravel the tangled feelings between them, to shift the focus from doubt to possibility. The time has come to face my dreams. Together or apart, what comes next, she thought,
determination rising like fresh dough. Would she gather the courage to stand her ground, or would she let the moment slip away unchallenged? With a deep breath, Emily prepared to navigate this sharply dividing line, her heart beating intensely in her chest. The course of their relationship was about to change, for better or for worse. The silence between them cracked like ice under pressure. Emily could feel the weight of unspoken words, the tension resonating in her bones. A part of her wanted to scream, to make him feel her urgency, her passion. But she recognized that tantrums wouldn't serve her purpose. Instead, she needed to speak plainly, to make him understand. "Dad, this isn't just about cooking," she started, her voice more firm now. "It's about finding myself. I can't go on living under the shadows of worries and fears. I need to chase something that feels real." She watched his expression shift, uncertainty creeping back into his eyes. This was not just a battle over culinary school. This was a confrontation with their shared past and the struggles that had shaped them both. He had become a wall of protection, and she was the rain trying to break through, desperate yet determined. Emily spoke again, her voice steadying with each word. "Being in the kitchen is where I come alive. It's my sanctuary. I want to learn everything I can about flavors, techniques, creating something beautiful. I want to carve out my place in this world, and I can't do that without taking risks." Jake's fingers tightened around his fork, the scrapes against the plate sending shivers of intensity through the air. She could see him visibly wrestling with the notion, the fear that her ambitions would lead to heartache, disappointment, perhaps even failure. "Why can't you see that security isn't everything?" she pressed, feeling the familiar pulse of anger mixing with desperation. "I don't want to just settle for comfortable if it means suffocating my dreams." His gaze fell, and for a brief moment, she thought she saw him reliving their past, a time when laughter filled the air rather than the weight of decisions. Would he ever be able to see her, the adult who had grown amidst the wreckage of their lives? "Emily," he finally whispered, as if summoning the words from deep within his conscience. "I want you to be happy, but I'm scared. I don't want to see you struggle like I have." Her heart softened, but only momentarily. It was replaced by a resolute clarity. "Dad, struggle is part of life. When you strive for what you believe in, that's where real growth happens. You taught me that when you encouraged me to stand up for my feelings, remember?" Jake processed her words, the weight of them seemingly heavy. In that moment, she could almost see the flicker of recognition dawning in his eyes. She was no longer just his child. She was an individual signaling for independence. The air between them grew electric as he reluctantly looked back up, searching for something in her expression.
"And what if you try and fail? What if it doesn't work out?" Her breath hitched, but she refused to back down. "Then I learn, I adapt, and I keep going. If I don't try, I'll never know if I can succeed. It's about finding my strength, my potential. Isn't that what you always wanted for me?" The tension was palpable, swirling with hopes and fears. It crackled between them, creating an energy that wasn't just friction, but the potential for something transformative. As Jake shifted uncomfortably in his chair, she saw a fleeting look, a mixture of fear and admiration. It was a moment of vulnerability she had never observed from him before. It told her that he too was caught in a web of expectations, his dreams entwined with her aspirations, all tangled in a complex dance of love and protection. Emily took a step closer, feeling the emotional distance shrink. "I'm not asking for your approval. I'm asking for your support as I figure out what I want. No matter the outcome, I need you in my corner." Jake inhaled deeply, the tension still rife in the air, but now tinged with the scent of hope. The challenge lay between them like an unspoken promise, a new chapter waiting to unfold. As they locked eyes, she silently prayed that this moment marked the beginning of something significant, a shift in their relationship where doubts would fade into encouragement. She felt stronger,
and for the first time, the prospect of pursuing her dreams didn't seem so terrifying. But then Jake spoke, his voice trembling. What if I don't know how to let go? The question echoed in her heart like a bell tolling, a stark reminder that even with this breakthrough, their journey together was just beginning. What would be needed to reconcile their opposing fears? How would they each find their way forward in a world that seemed intent on pulling them apart? With that lingering uncertainty, Emily prepared to delve deeper, aware that this conversation was merely a prelude to the complexities that lay ahead, a test of faith in themselves and each other. Emily took a step back, the turmoil of emotions swirling inside her like a tempest. Her father's vulnerability echoed in her mind. Could she really be the one to guide him through this maze of fear? The gravity of his question weighed heavily on her heart, but she was no longer the hesitant girl seeking approval. She was emerging into a woman determined to carve her own path. I know it's hard, she began, her voice softer now but confident. Let's take it one step at a time. My journey doesn't mean I'm leaving you behind. I'll need your experience and wisdom to navigate this. Jake's gaze was pensive, and Emily sensed her words resonating. For the first time, she felt the potential for unity, an opportunity for growth in both their lives. Maybe, he murmured, shifting in his chair, but I don't know how.
To support you in a world I don't understand. You talk about flavors and techniques, but to me, that's just chaos. Then let me show you the beauty of it, she exclaimed. We can discover it together. Cooking is about more than following recipes. It's an exploration. Can't we journey through it side by side? You teach me about life while I teach you about the kitchen. She watched as the shadows of worry lifted from his face, curiosity taking their place. Maybe it was her enthusiasm that sparked this change, or perhaps the idea of sharing something as intimate as cooking offered him a lifeline. Either way, she could feel the shift, a crack in the wall he'd built around himself, a flicker of hope igniting their conversation. All right, I'm willing to give it a shot, he replied slowly, almost testing the weight of his words. But what if I really mess things up? Then we'll laugh about it, Emily smiled, the warmth flooding her veins. You have no idea how many dishes I've ruined. It's all part of the process, Dad. The corners of his mouth twitched, hinting at a smile. It was a small victory, but it meant the world to her. Their shared laughter, once a distant memory, began to feel tangible again. As days passed, Emily found herself immersed in culinary techniques, devouring knowledge with fervor. Each lesson took on a significance beyond the kitchen. It became a metaphor for her evolving relationship with her father. She could sense his attention growing as he joined her in the kitchen more frequently, relinquishing some control and allowing her to lead. One evening, as they flipped through a cookbook together, Emily noticed a recipe for homemade pasta, something she had never dared to attempt. Underneath her excitement lurked a flicker of doubt. Would it be too advanced? What if they failed? Let's try making pasta from scratch, she suggested, enthusiasm bubbling within her even as a hint of uncertainty crept across her mind. Are you sure? Jake responded, sincerity etched across his features. It's more complicated than we've tackled so far. Emily took a deep breath, squelching the doubts. It's just flour and egg, she reassured him, but it's about the experience, and if it fails, we'll still have grown together. With renewed resolve, they gathered the ingredients, each motion in the kitchen infusing Emily with purpose. As she mixed the dough, she felt more alive than ever. Unlike the chaos of decision-making surrounding her future, this was tangible, a collaborative creation. Jake watched her weave her passion into the process. It was mesmerizing for him, the overlap of their two different worlds forming a new entity in the kitchen. Her confidence blossomed as they worked together, laughter mingling with the sounds of kneading and rolling. But as the pasta began to take shape, a sudden realization struck Emily. This moment was fleeting. Would they both be willing to carry this commitment outside the kitchen? Would they make room for vulnerability beyond culinary creations? As they prepared to cook their fresh pasta, Emily paused, stealing a glance at her father. "Dad, this isn't just about making food. It's about us finding out how to be a team." Jake looked into her eyes, a flicker of concern there. "And if the team falls apart when we face bigger issues?" Her heart raced, the uncharted territory of their relationship spilling into view. Would they buckle under the weight of reality, or could they continue to support each other even when confronted with deeper fears? Emily clenched her fists, ready to face both the pasta and the emotional barriers standing between them. The stove simmered, but it was the conversations yet to unfold that truly simmered with potential. They were both on the brink of crafting something deeper than a meal, an understanding of each other that traversed beyond the kitchen. Would they be able to heed the call of this new venture together? As she stirred the pot, the tension thickened, all the unspoken challenges ahead floating like steam above the pasta. What awaited them beyond these moments of light-hearted collaboration? Would they be ready to confront the complexities lying just beneath the surface? The kitchen filled with the warm aroma of simmering tomatoes, but for Emily, the scent was overshadowed by an unusual anxiety. As she stirred the sauce, a flicker of apprehension ignited within her. The pasta cooled briefly on the counter, forgotten in the whirlpool of her thoughts. Would this shared experience truly strengthen her relationship with her father? Or was it merely a temporary distraction from the deeper issues they both knew existed? "Ready for a taste test?" Jake asked, breaking her reverie. There was a hint of nervous excitement in his voice, the trepidation associated with new experiences clear in the way he held the spatula. "More than ready," she replied, forcing a smile despite her swirling doubts. She watched him scoop a portion of pasta onto a plate, his hand steady yet unsure. Her father wasn't the type to bask in victory. He often retreated from anticipation, wary of failure. She took a bite and her eyes widened. Light danced around her mouth as flavors burst forth, soft and surprising. "This is really good." Jake's face illuminated, a true smile replacing his earlier solemnity. "Really? Really?" she emphasized, finding joy in his newfound enthusiasm. The kitchen transformed. It was no longer just a cooking space, but a vibrant arena of exploration. In that instant, Emily sensed a connection was forming, woven together by the shared joy of creation. But the taste of triumph was quickly overshadowed by another thought. If cooking could bridge their emotional distance, what else could they tackle together? Steeling herself, she decided to delve beneath the surface. "Dad, what worries you most about this whole experiment?" He hesitated, stirring the sauce absent-mindedly, avoiding her gaze for a moment. But his silence told her everything. The kitchen might be a safe zone for their culinary pursuits, but the real conversation lay waiting like an undisturbed dish. "I guess. What if I keep failing at being a dad?" he finally admitted, the weight of his confession hanging heavy in the air. It pierced through the buzz of laughter they'd been sharing, exposing the raw truth. Emily blinked, momentarily stunned. She had expected fear about the cooking, not his role in her life. Yet her father's vulnerability was a mirror reflecting her own insecurities. "We both need to learn, right? This isn't just about you. I'm navigating new territory too, with you." A faint smile tugged at his lips, but it was coupled with a flicker of apprehension. "Yeah, but you're taking the lead. What if I mess it up in a way that's irreversible?" His words struck hard. She knew he feared the same chaos she sometimes felt in her own life choices. Internally, she battled between encouraging him and feeling naive for dismissing the true depths of his worries. "It's about the journey. If we mess up, we'll talk about it and learn, just like with the pasta." He laughed softly, and the tension shifted, but she felt a lingering shadow. This conversation wasn't finished. Just as pasta required careful kneading, so too did their relationship demand both time and effort. As she plated the meal, she realized they were still standing on the edge of a greater transformation, their newfound communication playing an essential role in their reunion. The kitchen was merely the training ground. The real challenge lay ahead. If they could fortify their bond amidst the chaos of cooking, what about the turmoil of life decisions? As they sat at the table, ready to share their meal, a question hung thick in the air, more potent than the rich aroma wafting around them. What would happen when challenges beyond pasta boundaries surfaced? Would their growing partnership withstand the complexities of their interconnected futures? Emily's heart pounded as a sense of urgency rose within her. "Dad," she began, her voice slightly trembling with anticipation, "can we make a pact? As we explore our way through the kitchen, let's promise to face everything else together too?" Jake was silent, his gaze contemplative yet worried. The moment felt monumental. Her declaration could set the bones of a new foundation, yet it also bore the risk of crumbling if not approached with care. Would he accept this promise, and in doing so, recognize that they both had the power to shape their destinies beyond the kitchen? The stakes were rising. What kind of agreement would they forge in the simmering pressure? The silence lingered between them like a tension-filled steam, each moment extracting an unspoken promise from the air. Emily felt a tight knot form in her stomach, a blend of hope and uncertainty churning within. Her father's concentration settled on the table, a subtle furrow in his brow revealing the weight of the decision looming ahead. She took a deep breath, tempted to retract her, yet the prospect of true partnership shone bright in her mind. "Dad, I mean it. We can tackle anything together. Just think about it," she urged, her voice gaining strength with conviction. "Everything in life is like a recipe. We may need to adjust the ingredients as we go along." Jake looked up, his expression shifting from contemplation to a flicker of realization. This wasn't merely a daughter's whimsy. It was a bid for connection long sought. A moment passed before the corners of his mouth quirked upwards, signaling the beginning of acceptance. "All right, Em, let's do it. I promise to face every chaos, all of it, if you'll be there too." Relief flooded through her, melding seamlessly with exhilaration. They had forged an agreement, one that not only acknowledged their culinary experiment, but also their emotional journey. Yet, as they shared bites of pasta laced with newfound camaraderie, doubts resurfaced within her, like a tide retreating too quickly, leaving behind fragments of uncertainty. How could they truly begin facing real-life challenges when their history was riddled with missteps? Just as she savored the tenderness of the sauce, the thought of vulnerability loomed, threatening to curtail their resolve. What if the pact became another hollow promise? What if, when the time came to confront deeper issues, old fears resurfaced, shackling them both like a forgotten recipe gone wrong? That evening was a blend of laughter and shared stories, yet beneath the warmth of the moment lay a simmering tension. Their pact rested not upon mere words, but the action that they had yet to define. She thought of her own life, her hesitations regarding college applications, uncertainties about future friendships, and whether facing them together would change her course. "Dinner was fantastic," she said, trying to steer the conversation toward lighter waters. "But what's our next recipe, Dad?" Caught between excitement and trepidation, Emily noticed the subtle hesitation in Jake's eyes. Perhaps he too was wrestling with thoughts of what awaited beyond the kitchen, and the weight of that realization felt heavy in the air. The very act of cooking had unearthed latent ambitions, unveiling layers beneath their previously stilted communication. "Maybe a family favorite?" he suggested, somehow shy amidst the idea. "What do you think about lasagna? It's a little involved, but I think we can handle it." Emily's spirits lifted at the thought. It felt like a step forward, not just in cooking, but in chipping away at the barriers that had defined their interactions. "I'd love that. What if we invited Mom too? She'd probably love joining in." The brief flicker of joy in his eyes faltered, revealing shadows of unresolved tensions that hung silently in the background. Bringing her mother into their cooking ordeal was laden with implications, those tangled feelings of blended family dynamics, anger and longing. "Emily," he sighed, breaking eye contact as he stood to clean up,
Let's not rush that. We'll get there one step at a time. That truth hung between them,
accompanied by a complexity neither could yet navigate. They both rose to clean the table, but Emily felt the weight of uncharted territory loom larger. They had barely grasped their own bond, yet contemplated how to expand that circle. Would they find greater strength in a shared past, or would the delicate fabric of their newly formed alliance unravel beneath the drag of memories and expectations? Reaching for their plates, Emily felt the considerable pressure of the future bearing down. Sure, they had established a pact, but would it withstand the gravity of their past? As they stepped closer to a brighter culinary horizon, one question nagged persistently at the edge of her mind. What would happen when the real recipe of their relationship required ingredients neither of them were prepared to measure? The following afternoon, Emily found herself buried under a mountain of schoolwork. Textbooks sprawled across her desk, the stale air punctuated only by the ticking clock as hours slipped away. The chaotic swirl of math problems and history notes faded into the background as thoughts of the previous night's dinner resurfaced. The prospect of cooking with her dad felt exhilarating, yet an underlying anxiety clouded her excitement. She rifled through her notes, but the words blurred around her. Her mind drifted back to her father's hesitant tone, the way he had avoided the prospect of including her mother. Was it the pain of their past that kept them from moving forward, or was it Jake's attempt to shield both of them from potential discord? The question nagged at her like an unfinished puzzle, silently demanding resolution. In a sudden flash of determination, Emily decided to take action. If they were to grow, they needed to dismantle the lingering weight of unresolved feelings that hung between their exchanges, especially concerning her mother. Fear settled heavily in her gut. Would bringing up these feelings disrupt the fragile equilibrium they had just started to establish? Nevertheless, she knew that leaving it unaddressed wouldn't allow them to fully embrace their potential together. Later that day, as she waited for Jake to return home from work, Emily set about organizing their cooking supplies. She carefully arranged everything they would need for the lasagna, putting away her hesitant thoughts in favor of practical preparation. Each can of tomatoes, each layer of mozzarella, created a visual representation of the partnership she envisioned, the layered complexity of their relationship waiting to be explored. When Jake finally returned, exhaustion hung like a shroud over him. He stepped into the kitchen, momentarily captivated by the sight of all the ingredients lined up, but his distracted smile faded as he surveyed her focused expression. "What's going on here?" he asked, arching an eyebrow. Feeling an impulsive jolt of bravery, she plunged into the deep end of their relationship turmoil head first. "Dad, can we talk about Mom? I know you don't want to bring her up, but I think we should." His jaw tightened, and Emily's heart raced as she anticipated a retreat, a withdrawal behind the familiar walls of avoidance that had defined their history. But instead of shutting her down, he absorbed her words, his shoulders dropping slightly as he failed to mask the tension swirling in the air. In that moment, Emily discovered her voice. "We're creating something new, but I can't shake off the feeling that all the ingredients aren't here yet." Jake ran a hand through his hair, wrestling with the emotions her honesty unearthed. "I just don't know what bringing her into this means for us," he muttered, looking away. "Maybe it means we're ready to put aside the past. It doesn't have to hurt," she pressed, her tone gentle but firm. "We can be better than the memories that held us back." Silence enveloped the kitchen, punctuated only by the soft hum of the refrigerator. Even as doubt smoldered between them, Emily could feel a shift. This wasn't merely a confrontation, but an opportunity, a moment of potential change. Jake finally looked at her, vulnerability reflected in his eyes. Maybe you're right, but we need to take baby steps. I don't want to risk confusing you." "Then let's take those steps together," she said, realizing she was no longer just a daughter seeking guidance. She was asserting her place as a partner in this journey. This conversation, raw and unfiltered, reshaped the atmosphere of the room. Emily could sense the energy oscillating, her determination igniting something deeper within the boundaries of their relationship. As they prepared the ingredients, shouts of laughter rose intermittently between moments of reflection. Each slice of cheese, every dash of seasoning became a symbol of their driven commitment not just to cooking, but to each other. Just as the lasagna began to fill the oven with an enticing aroma, Emily felt the unyielding tug of the future binding her to Jake with newfound strength. They were still facing the unknown, yet this willingness to confront uncomfortable truths had transformed their narrative from mere survival to something profoundly hopeful. But just as Emily savored the moment, the specter of doubt lingered. What irreparable impact would their journey of revelations have on their family dynamic? Would they truly bear the weight of confrontations that might threaten the semblance of peace they had crafted? As she stirred the sauce, she knew they were only at the beginning. But deep down, she sensed a brewing storm that would demand their continued resilience. Did she have the courage to navigate whatever turbulent waters lay ahead? And more importantly, could Jake face them too? The aroma filled the room, but the heat of uncertainty simmered just below the surface, vigilant and ominous. Each bite of lasagna could either unite or fracture them further, and that question loomed larger than ever. How much could they endure as they sought to reclaim their family without losing themselves again? Emily's heart raced with a mix of excitement and trepidation as she set the table for their first shared meal in ages. The lasagna was bubbling in the oven, a vibrant mosaic of colors and scents that enveloped the kitchen in a warm embrace. She had strived to infuse every layer with intention, a manifestation of her desire for connection. The soft, melancholic notes of a playlist she had created filtered through the speakers, serving as the emotional backdrop to this fragile moment. As they gathered around the table, Emily couldn't shake the gravity of their earlier conversation. Jake pushed a slice of lasagna onto his plate, the cheese stretching and pulling, a tangible reminder of the new bond they were attempting to forge. He looked up at her, uncertainty clouding his gaze. "Thanks for doing this," he said, breaking the silence. "I know it's not easy bringing up." His voice trailed off. Emily's mind raced. How could she even begin to articulate the whirlwind of emotions swirling within her? She took a steadying breath, knowing that sometimes the hardest words to say were the ones that mattered the most. "I want to talk about Mom, and not just as a memory, but as part of what we're building, together." Jake shifted in his chair, his fork hovering above the plate as he contemplated her words. The tension of his contemplation hung between them, a fragile balance of fear and hope. "We need to be honest about her," she continued, her voice emboldened by some newfound courage. "It's not about reopening wounds, it's about acknowledging everything we've been through and how it shapes who we are now." His expression softened, revealing a flicker of understanding. "I've pushed those memories down for so long, I guess I thought they would fade away." His voice was barely above a whisper. "But maybe I was wrong." With that admission, Emily sensed the trembling edges of their relationship shift yet again. The dinner table, typically a mundane piece of furniture, morphed into a confessional space where thoughts were painted with honesty instead of avoidance. As they spoke, the warmth of the lasagna shifted into nourishment for their frayed emotional bonds. Yet, even as the conversation unfolded, nagging doubts lurked at the periphery of her mind. What if delving into their shared past only dragged them deeper into the maze of regret? As her father's ghostly reminders of the life they lost loomed closer, she questioned if she had the fortitude to navigate through uncharted waters where unresolved conflicts festered. After a few moments, Jake glanced back at her, a newfound resolve etched into his features. "Let's share those memories," he said, a distinct shift in his tone. It was firm yet tinged with vulnerability, a committed step toward dismantling the walls they had both fortified over the years. Emily felt a rush of adrenaline surge within her, an exhilarating sense of purpose intermingled with fear. Inviting the past to mingle with their present was fraught with challenges, but she was beginning to understand it might also be the key to their future.
as they began to recount fragmented memories, light-hearted anecdotes intertwined with moments of pain. The atmosphere warmed substantially. There was laughter that felt foreign yet comforting, and tears that bridged unfinished stories. Their shared vulnerability became a rehearsal for future confrontations. It was a rehearsal for facing adversity together. But soon enough, her father's laughter faded into a contemplative silence, and the weight of unspoken words re-entered the space, thickening the air. "What happens if this doesn't go as we hope?" he asked, his vulnerability resurfacing. "Then we try again," Emily reassured him, now resolved. "We keep trying until we find our way, but we can't find the way hiding from the truth." In that moment, the lasagna was forgotten. It sat cooling off, mirroring the obstacles that sought to solidify between them. They were standing at the precipice of a significant threshold, one where failure loomed as close as success. With an exhale, she acknowledged the crossroads they faced, the deepened connection against the backdrop of the unknown. They had begun to peel back the layers, but what lay beneath them was still obscured by shadows and doubts. The meal, symbolic of their fragile venture, felt like an unfinished task. It called them to sharpen their resolve. What revelations awaited in the chapters yet written? And would they have the strength to face the darkness of their family legacy head-on? As Emily picked up her fork, she knew this moment was just the beginning. The challenge ahead demanded not just courage, but trust. Trust that they could navigate whatever storm lay just beyond the horizon, united in their transformative journey. But the question lingered: would that trust hold strong under the weight of memories yet to explore? The lasagna grew cold, an unyielding reminder of the pivotal conversation that loomed within the confines of their shared space. Emily pushed the fork through the pasta, her thoughts spiraling into the depths of what lay ahead. Just as the flavors of the meal began to fade, a warmth flickered to life within her. She realized that her willingness to confront the past offered a spark of hope for grounding their future. As they continued to share stories, she felt herself morphing from uncertainty into a daring explorer of memories. A shadow slinked off her past, and she caught glimpses of hidden strength she hadn't known existed within her. With each unveiled memory, the walls she had unconsciously erected around her heart began to crack, allowing the sun of understanding to seep through. In a moment of genuine connection, Jake reached for her hand, a gentle bridge sealed together by the weight of their shared heritage. "So, what do we do next?" His eyes sparkled with the glow of curiosity and trepidation. It hit Emily with the force of an epiphany. This wasn't merely about processing the past, it was about seizing agency over their lives. "We set goals," she proposed, internalizing her growing confidence. "Not just for today, but for our future." The kitchen, once simply a place steeped in memory, transformed into a workshop for rebuilding their fractured bond. With that epiphany, she opened her journal, almost instinctively, its pages still filled with half-finished thoughts. There, under the lengthening shadows cast by the setting sun, she began to outline steps toward personal empowerment. "Let's write down some things we want to achieve together, new traditions, goals for our healing, whatever it is that makes us feel whole again." Jake hesitated, the idea of tangible ambitions seeming both thrilling and terrifying. "Like what?" he questioned, his voice laden with ambiguity, yet laced with promise. "Let's start small," she suggested, thinking quickly. "How about we commit to one family dinner each week? Or we could create a memory jar, where we collect notes about the moments we appreciate, big or small. It could help us regain the joy that's been overshadowed." The thought electrified her, igniting dormant wells of creativity and determination. Emily felt like a sculptor chiseling away at a block of marble, unveiling the form hidden within. Even as uncertainty loomed, she understood that these small acts of intention held the power to instigate profound change. The more they discussed, the clearer their vision became. Jake's initial reluctance melted away, replaced with a fierce enthusiasm. "And we could go on a road trip together, somewhere meaningful. Just like when we were kids, We could visit Mom's favorite places. It'd be a chance for us to remember her in the best way possible, not just in grief. That idea struck a chord with Emily. The thought of weaving together joyous adventures while honoring their past felt essential. Yet lingering worries clawed at her. What if the journey unearthed buried resentments instead of shared laughter? She silenced those fears, shifting her focus back to the excitement swelling in her chest. "Absolutely, let's write that down," she urged him, buoyed by the growing sense of purpose that enveloped them. In her heart, Emily realized that by committing to these endeavors, they didn't merely preserve their memories. They were constructing a landscape of their future, one that thrived on collaboration, vulnerability, and love. After solidifying their initial goals, Emily felt the need for balance. She turned the conversation inward. "What about us?" she asked gently. "What personal journeys do we want to explore individually?" The idea of self-discovery, parallel to their familial journey, surfaced like a flicker of light. As Jake mulled over the question, Emily felt her own heart pulse with possibility. In recognizing the depths of their individual struggles amidst their collective journey, they might uncover hidden strengths cultivated over years, forged in silence. Suddenly, clarity settled upon her, the realization that without personal growth, their commitment to rebuilding their connection would languish. She was prepared to face her insecurities head-on, questioning what obstacles stood in her way. And she sensed Jake teetering on the edge of that revelation as well. A surge of anticipation filled the air as they continued to grapple with the implications of their conversation. They sat in the growing darkness, shrouded yet glowing, a reflection of their
mutual resolve. As Emily navigated the tenuous threads between hope and fear, one thing echoed within her. The imminent challenge of individual confrontation was just around the corner. Would they unearth skills and strengths they never realized they possessed? Or would the journey inadvertently reveal new divisions? The next step loomed. What awaited them in the echoing silence of their hearts? The aroma of fresh lasagna wafted through the air, rekindling the warmth of nostalgia as Emily set the table with meticulous care. Every place setting was infused with intention, symbolizing not just their meal, but a deeper commitment to their evolving relationship. The soft melodies from her curated playlist filled the kitchen, an emotional backdrop to this delicate moment of reconnection. Jake entered the room, weariness etched on his face from a long day, his hands still slightly smeared with grease from work. Yet as his gaze fell upon the culinary creation on the table, a flicker of intrigue sparked behind his eyes. The previous conversations still hung in the air, their raw honesty preparing the ground for yet another pivotal exchange. "Wow, Em, this looks incredible," he remarked, studying the layers of pasta and cheese with genuine appreciation. "Thanks, Dad," Emily replied, her heart racing with a mix of anticipation and uncertainty. She knew that beyond the meal lay the essence of their relationship, a bridge toward healing both past wounds and present doubts. As they began to serve the lasagna, a palpable tension replaced the comfort of earlier conversations. While she could feel the excitement pulsing in her veins, it was accompanied by an underlying anxiety. Were they truly ready to delve deeper, confront their emotions, and embrace the challenges that lay ahead? "Before we dig in, can we talk?" she asked, summoning her courage. The request hung in the air, weighted yet infused with promise. Jake paused, studying her intently, a slight nod granting her permission to continue. "Sure, what's on your mind?" "I think it's time we addressed our relationship more directly. We've made progress in the kitchen, but we need to explore our individual journeys too. If we want to heal, we have to support each other in pursuing our dreams," Emily said, her voice unwavering as she laid out her intentions. Jake's expression flickered, illuminating the apprehension lurking beneath the surface. "You feel that strongly about it?" "Absolutely," she asserted. "It's not just about cooking meals together. It's about building a foundation of trust and understanding. I'm ready to chase my culinary dreams, and I need your backing. But I also want to know what you're passionate about, Dad." His eyes softened, the warmth of her words permeating through the defenses he had built. Emily saw the struggle etched in his features. "I'm proud of you, Em. It's just, I don't want to see you get hurt. The world can be harsh," he admitted, his vulnerability surfacing like a tide. "I know," she replied, leaning in, "but this is my journey, just like it's yours. I'm asking for your support, even if it means facing the obstacles together." A heavy silence settled, and Jake's brow furrowed in deliberation. The depth of their shared sentiment cracked open, illuminating the sides of their relationship that had long been suppressed. "I want to support you, I do, but I'm also scared of getting it wrong," he confessed, stirring the feelings that had been silenced for too long. "What if we took it slow? Let's make a pact to pursue our passions, openly discussing our dreams every week. You can show me your world, and I can share mine with you," Emily proposed, realizing that she wasn't just guiding him, but inviting collaboration into their lives. He inhaled deeply, the weight of her words sinking in. "You're so right. We need to be a team, not just in the kitchen, but in everything else that lies ahead." As the lasagna began to cool, the bonds of their connection simmered with potential. They couldn't return to the way things were. This was a transformative moment of clarity and awareness, a launch into growth on both fronts. Jake's shoulders relaxed, the tightness in his jaw easing. For the first time in a while, he seemed to see the bright landscape ahead, the possibilities that awaited them both. "Okay, I'm in," he said, determination shining in his eyes. A feeling of relief surged through Emily as they connected over their shared aspirations. "Great, and maybe we can write down our goals too. Coming together in all aspects might just be what we need." With his agreement cementing their mutual commitment, Emily felt a profound sense of unlocking, an expansive territory of hope developing before them. Their journey towards self-discovery, side by side, no longer felt uncertain. It was marked by authenticity and accountability. That night, they sat together at the table, not just sharing a meal, but engaging in open dialogue, recounting memories infused with laughter and reflection, a tapestry woven from threads of light and darkness, challenges and joys. As the evening wound down, Emily turned toward Jake, her eyes reflecting the earnest ambition of her desires. "Thank you for being open with me tonight. I've seen a shift in you, and that gives me hope. Thank you for pushing me to explore. I've been holding back for so long, afraid of what facing the past might mean," he admitted, his sincerity wrapping around Emily like a warm blanket. As they cleaned up, she could sense a renewal within him, a budding confidence slowly breaking free from the cocoon of doubt that had long shrouded both of them. In that shared moment of understanding, Emily's heart soared. They had conquered the first step of their individual paths, opening doors to a bond that would grow stronger through communication and commitment. As they stepped into new routines that defined their evolving relationship, each dinner became a dance of creativity, a profound exploration of trust, love, and ambition. She could almost taste the flavors of a life without barriers, where they faced challenges head-on, inspiring one another toward a vibrant future. This was the beginning, not just of culinary adventures, but of redefining their familial foundation, a testament to their resilience. There would still be struggles, unbearable moments when fears would reemerge and challenges would test their resolve. But together, they embraced the journey. Two distinct lives weaving a tale of renewal, growth, and unwavering support. With confidence radiating from her core, Emily smiled as they laughed together in the kitchen, savoring the taste of previously uncharted possibilities. They were prepared to face the tasks ahead, armed with newfound understanding, courage, and the flavors of a shared commitment to rise above the obstacles lining their path. In a moment of sincerity, Emily whispered silently to herself as their laughter echoed. She had emerged, not just as a daughter, but as a partner and an architect of their collective future. They would build, dream, and flourish together. This was not merely an ending, it was a moment eclipsing the dawn of new beginnings. Now, the only question left lay in the discovery of how far this newfound bond could take them, fearlessly exploring life's intricate flavors one day at a time. You need to subscribe now to our channel to not miss the next exclusive emotional stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm. Comment your reactions and theories about the ending. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this conclusion. Don't wait even one more second to share. True fans of personal overcoming stories understand the importance of supporting our journey through these actions.